For Sonia and Kuli, moments like this are precious. It's been 10 years since they lost their first baby, who was stillborn.
And my disbelief was such that I had to wait for the doctor to look me in the eye and actually say to me, the baby doesn't have a heartbeat. So that moment when they actually said, actually the baby's no longer there, well, there, but doesn't have a heartbeat, was just devastating, absolutely devastating.
You know, she was in labour, she gave birth naturally, and that was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to watch her go through, and it honestly broke my heart.
The delivery and the labour itself was still an experience that I was going to look back on. And I think one of the things that used to bother me was people would disregard the fact that I had a pregnancy and I laboured and I gave birth. I still had a story to tell, whereas people forget that you still went through that.
Like many parents, they were looking forward to the birth. A baby shower was held in anticipation. His life was already a celebration.
But the excitement was just unreal. It's hard to explain because every single person in that house at the time was excited for this baby to arrive, aside from our own excitement, but everybody around us as well. The hardest part of the whole journey was actually leaving hospital empty-handed. That's how it felt. There was other parents around us, obviously, coming in and leaving with their babies, balloons, flowers. And it was really difficult to do that final walk out of the hospital. I don't think I've ever known heartache like it, to walk away.
They named him Veer, and every year on his birthday they release balloons in his memory. For Sonia and Kuli, one of the most heartbreaking aspects of losing their baby was leaving the hospital empty-handed while they were surrounded by other couples who were celebrating the birth of their babies. Now, Birmingham Women's Hospital is creating a separate project which will accommodate families like theirs who have given birth to a stillborn baby.
And Woodlands House will be a purpose-built facility for families, as you've just described. So for families where their babies are born sleeping. And it'll be a really peaceful environment with highly trained staff who are able to offer those families the very, very specific support that they need. They'll have the opportunity to spend time with their baby, to have photographs, to be able to make a memory box with their baby. And it's away from the main hospital. So when people come and visit, maybe grandparents or siblings will come and visit, they won't be walking up the corridor and hearing people laughing with their and babies crying with their babies that were born alive. And a lot of our patients do say to us that they feel traumatized, that they leave with empty arms.
And 10 years on, every year we look back at photos and I just wish there was more. I wish there was a photo of his hand, of his foot.
There was nothing
every
prepares
tiny
you.
detail, but if there'd been somebody to guide us immediately to say, these are the important memories, these are the things you will look back on, and actually take as many photos, take hundreds of photos, because that's all you'll have left after.
Yeah, and I think that's where the bereavement midwife would have come into play. Because they're the ones who, because it's not necessarily that you need to know this prior as a new parent or even, if you're having subsequent children, but I think every hospital should have a bereavement midwife.
He's gone but not forgotten as they continue to cherish his memory. Balvinder Sidhu for GB News.